well, QSL. Yeah, I got the mobile station, about a 5.6, 5x7 copy over here into California. So good copy over here. Yeah, I didn't know if there was anything left on the band. I could hear a few people out there talking, but it wasn't really nothing good for any DX. So that's why I figured I'd just key up and see what happened. But I was actually pointed up there towards Europe still. I was pointed about 25 degrees on my rotor. So right now I got it down your way now. I got it. I probably had to move it about almost 90 degrees to the south. But no, good copy over here. Good audio and good, real good sound, strong sounding station for the Mobile QSL. Where'd you go, 555? What was that other station?
Yeah, I heard you in there. Wanted to say hello. Good audio.
Oh yeah, well, appreciate it. Appreciate it. I don't know what happened to my old buddy out there with 10 Echo Tango 555. He did say he was in a Mobile, running around a lot of in a very noisy area. So maybe he got a little bit of interference. But yeah, appreciate the compliments. I'm over here in the San Francisco Bay Area, and what I'm using right now is a Yaesu Fox Tango 2000 QSL.
Oh, copy the FT2000. Yeah, them things are really nice. They've got good audio set. I'm on a 746 Pro with
Yeah, stand by a second.
an 802 Behringer.
Oh yeah, I heard that. Well, it sounded good. I hear Mr. Eddie back there again. So hey, 555, you I know you said you were in the Mobile riding around. You must have went by some of that noise you were telling me about, because I thought I lost you on frequency, but I'm still around. I'm still around over here. And which part of Mexico are you in Division 10? Which state? I'm trying to remember. I don't think I've ever asked you before. But which state are you in, down there?
Okay, yeah, this is Coahuila State, very close to the state of Texas. 200 kilometers down from the state of Texas, and I'm in a very, very noisy area. So sorry for if you said something before, but I lost in the QRM. So I will leave the frequency for a minute, Larry, just to say hello, my friend. This is the first time we have spoken. 73, Larry. Hope to catch you again soon on frequency. Bye-bye from Mexico, Larry.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. And I'll stand by. That's what I figured. That's what I thought what happened was, I remember you said that it was a pretty noisy area, and I figured you did lose me in the QRM, but no worries. All right. Well, I had the antenna a little bit too far south, so I got it looking more at you now over there in Coahuila, a couple hundred kilometers south of Texas. So that should be a little better copy right there. But no worries. All right. Well, I'll say 73s, and I'm gonna see if this other station's still by, and maybe I'll catch you out here later on. This is 2 Echo Tango 006 73s, man. You still by?
Yeah, 006. I know that number. I've talked to you before. It's 33 Arkansas.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm gonna move your way a little bit more toward. That's probably too far north. That's probably a little bit more your way right there. Yeah, it was probably. I had the antenna pretty far to the south, so it was probably getting me off the side. So that might have been what was up. But yeah, no, good copy over here right now.
You're banging in here. It's 20 over, and this radio doesn't see 20 over much. But yeah, it's Rick. I am 2 Alpha Romeo on the International 33. But Yeah, I didn't have this radio, though. I think last time I talked to you, I was still on the 718.
Oh, yeah. You know, come to think of it, I think you did tell me, I think you did say you were getting something new, but I do remember the 718. No, that one's, it's good there. It sounds pretty good. I heard you before you kind of doubled with 555 down there. I did hear you say you had a 802 a little mixer in line. I think I have one of those here too. If I remember right, I think that's no, I take that back. I think it's a 502 is the one I have. I picked up a real small one. I went and we got a few places around that stocks all that stuff over here locally. So I went and picked up a little small mixer, and what I was going to do is use that on an AM transmitter that I have, and to be able to record with, to get the audio off the transmit and the receive, I was going to drive because that old antique there is two separate units, so I was going to drive the audio out of each one through the mixers just so I can record with, but I never did get that far. That thing's been sitting here collecting dust. QSL.
Oh, QSL, yeah. Yeah, a buddy of mine out in West Virginia got me on this one. It's a real non-expensive way to go. The 802 is only about 50, and this ATR 30 is about 20, so I didn't have to do a lot to get a little bit. But if I had an RE20 or something in here with some real EQ, and it'd probably do a little better.
That was pretty good right now. What mic are you using right now?
It's the Audio Technica 8 AR30.
Oh, okay. I was thinking that AR30 was a preamp. I thought I remember they had some numbers like that for some of those Audio Technica preamps. I thought I remember seeing those out this way, but no, that's cool. It seems to be working. That's a condenser mic, if I'm not mistaken, right?
No, it's a dynamic, just a regular singing mic. It's not the condenser type. Well, my buddy's got the Audio Technica 2020. That one's a real nice one. I wouldn't mind getting that one, but you got to have the preamp. He's got a Bellari preamp on it on an 870 in the back, running in the back. No, not even any EQ at all in line, and man, that thing is studio quality. Oh
yeah. No, they're pretty good. Sometimes you can find mics, and it depends on the guy's voice too. People's voice, they all, they kind of require different things, but even with like this one right here, if I turn the EQ, actually if I could reach over there and hit this thing without knocking nothing over, I might be able to turn it off while I'm keyed up, but even this one isn't too bad. It's a big difference though. I mean, it's not the same, but I have heard these. I have ran one of these mics here before, one of these PR40s with no EQ on it, and it worked pretty good. It had a pretty good, the way the audio was tailored. It's pretty flat, but it does have a little emphasis in the mid range. But I think that's kind of a signature how. But no, it sounds pretty good over here. And what's neat about the mixer is, you can add to it whatever you want down the road too. So that makes it kind of good. I was actually thinking about that little mixer I have over here. I was almost thinking about throwing it in Mobile, but because I've been wanting to do some things in there, but I don't know. I haven't made up my mind yet. But I'm probably going to try to squeeze a little bit more audio out of that setup one of these days. That'll be another one on my to-do list. QSL.
Yeah. Buddy of mine actually put the 802 on even the 2950 or anything like that, and it really gives them the emphasis. Almost makes them sound like an HF radio. So I think the 502 is similar, just doesn't have quite as much. So there's 4 rows on this, and you really only use one of them. I just recently found out because I plugged the jack. I was switching in between row 1 and 2, and I accidentally plugged it into 3, and it modulated. And 3 and 4 don't have the mic input gain level on them, but they still work. And I got to testing with which one I liked best, and I ended up putting it in row 4. And it doesn't even have a mic input gain level on that one. It's just straight up the line level one at the bottom. I turned up a little extra, but I actually liked it a little better in that one.
Yeah, I heard that. See, this right here, there's no EQ in it right now. And I reached over there because that little mixer is sitting on top of the rack gear, and it is an 802 that I have. I was thinking it was a 502, but It is a 802, but I think the only difference in between them is the 502 is just missing 2 channels. It doesn't have quite as many plugins, but it's all pretty much the same stuff. But yeah, this one right here. So that's still going through everything else, but there's no EQ in line right now at all. So it's just and it sounds pretty clear. I can hear it in the headphones. It's still has it, just doesn't sound quite as big, but still workable like this QSL.
Yeah, that's impressive. The little bit of the low end's gone away. You had that real thick low end there with the EQ on, but that's really, really good fidelity. I heard a guy on over in the Netherlands was the only one I've really heard with a PR40 on. He had the 746 Pro, and he said he didn't have an EQ on it or nothing. And that thing sounded outstanding.
Yeah, what's neat about them is the response is so wide on them. You know, it goes. I think they claimed it'll go down to 28 hertz. I think it was. I never really actually measured it to see how far down it would go. You know, I got the stuff here to do it with, but I never really checked it. But I was when I bought this thing, I had a. I think it was if I remember right, I want to say it was a Heil Classic I had in line, and then I was looking for a little flatter, wider response, and I came real close to buying a Electro Voice RE20. I was kind of stuck between the RE20 and the PR40, and kind of went a little bit between them, and went and looked at them, and there's actually an audio shop out this way where they got a pretty sharp tech that works there. He does some of the repairs and stuff, and kind of do some things back and forth with him. And then I went and listened to a few different ones, what I could find online and stuff. And then I ended up going, with the PR40, and then I ended up getting a second one. So I actually have 2 of them sitting over here. I got one on the AM station, and I got one on this one right here. But I do like them though. They're pretty slick. And then I unplugged it, and I threw it in the Mobile for a second to see how it was in there and all that. But I probably would have one in there too. But I don't. I'm kind of tight on space, and I don't think I can fit a boom inside there to mount it to QSL.
Yeah, my buddy John out there in Santa Cruz, a big Radio 35 or KW 35, whichever one he wants to use. He actually put a gold line on his Kenwood 480H. I think it's the HX, the 200 watter, and it really improved the quality. And he's still just holding it in his hand. I bet people thought looked at him twice, seeing him hold that thing, but. Yeah, I don't know, man. Them RE20s, of course, some of them Electro Voices, some of them other ones, them $400 to $800 ones, are really, really intense with the tube and all that. But yeah, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Mike down Louisiana at Z5Q that has that Voodoo side. He was actually beta testing that PR40 back in the day, and I was listening to him talk down on, I think he was on 160 that one time when he was doing it with his buddy before it really came out, and he was saying that the RE20 he actually preferred a little bit over that PR40, but I don't know, man. Either one of them, but like I said, I heard that one from that guy in the Netherlands once, so I guess about 4 or 5 months ago. And I'd been wanting to get the Pro 2. I mean, not the Pro 2, but the 46 Pro for a long time because it had the bass and treble adjustments in the radio. And he said that's all he was running, no EQ or nothing. And man, that's the best, still the best of 46 Pro I've ever heard, even with people running EQs and stuff on them.
Yeah, I have a friend of mine to the south of me. I don't know, maybe about 45 minutes to an hour to the south. He has he's got a 746 Pro, and he used to use a gold line on that setup too. And speaking of the gold line too, in the Mobile, I also have a 480 in there, and I use it's not quite as big as a gold line, but it's one of the handy mics. I don't know if you've ever seen those that they make, and they're real tiny mics. They're only about 4 inches long, but it has the same element. I got the I forgot what model it is. They make about 4 or 5 different ones, but I know they have a HC5, HC4. They have one for an Icon, which I have on a little 706 over here. that I use. I pretty much only use it now for like 2 meter and 440. I kind of kept that thing because it's all mode, but there is they make I want to say it's called a IC wide or something like that, or no, a HM wide I think is what it's called. But anyways, it's it's like the same element that's in the in the gold lines, but I do have one of those on the 480 in the Mobile too. But anyways, this guy with the 746 Pro, he used to run a gold line on his, and he was pretty much a strictly sideband talker, but he ended up I think he ended up putting his gold line in the Mobile on a little Yaesu, like let's see, what is that thing? 857, I think it is. That little small one they have out now. And it works pretty good. That might be the wrong number, but it's that little compact one they got out now that's kind of somewhat equal to like a 706 or an IC 7000. But anyways, on the station at home, he put a PR40 on that one, and only used the internal adjustments on there, and that thing too. It sounds, it sounds, just about perfect. You could probably get a little bit more punch out of it. Maybe if you maybe compress it a little bit. Maybe put a sonic maximizer on it or something like that. You can maybe get a little bit more punch out of the one he's got, but overall it's pretty good. And there's nothing on the outside on it. It's just the PR40 going straight into that 746 Pro, and it's it's all sounds real good on this side, QSL.
Yeah, QSL, yeah. Like I say, I would like to do that, either that or the RE20. I'm not sure which ones are the better price now, if the PR40's come down any or not lately, but yeah, I wouldn't even mind maybe running it in the back too. I don't know. I think the guy, don't think I even asked him if he was in the front or the back, but I imagine he was in the front on it. And yeah, I'm familiar with them handy mics. There was one guy in Minnesota I heard that got one that didn't really sound as good as the Gold Line, but I forget now. I think he was running it on maybe a 46 or something, but not the Pro one. But I don't really remember. But I didn't seem to like it. I didn't know there was that many different versions of that handy mic. So he might have got maybe the 4, and it probably wouldn't sound as good as the 5. But what was that other thing? Oh yeah, do you know who that is down there on the Pro, on the 46 Pro? I know one guy out there named Doug out in that general area, but I'm not sure who you're talking about.
His name is Osef, but he talks a lot on 695 or 705, 765, right around there. He's a pretty good friend of mine. He does make it down around here in these middle frequencies like this. Every so often he might go into the 40 channels, but not too much. He usually spends his time up this way right here. But there is a lot of guys on the South Bay down there that do that kind of thing. But yeah, with those handy mics, so yeah, they do make a lot of different ones. And they got I know the ICOM one has got a condenser element in there. Then they have that wide, which is the one I have. And they make a version of that does not have the push to talk on it. It's supposed to be more like for a stage mic or something. Then they make one with the HC4 and the HC5. So they got a few different versions of them. But when I first got that mic, I ran it on a RCI 2950. And just straight to it, nothing in between. And on there, it sounded, it made that thing sound real good. But with the 480, though, I have it going straight into it now. But I do have I think what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to run the audio through a computer. I do have a netbook in the Mobile, but I'm probably going to run the audio through there to touch it up. But the 480's got a lot of internal settings you can do to it. And then once I had that thing hooked up to a computer, and then it kind of opens up a window where you can actually tailor your audio through the computer, and then flash the program to the radio itself. Because there's a few, let's see, I think there's like 5 or 6 menus, kind of general settings where you can, they have like a high boost 1, high boost 2, and then there's you can turn the EQ.